Hello everyone, this is Naveen Gojari. I've been working with Liberty Mutual since I joined with Liberty Mutual. I worked on many different projects like Canada, Cairo Secure, Asia Pac, Latin America, and allied health midwives and psychiatry. So during this process, I've followed all the best practices for Blue Prism and followed all the Blue Prism standards. And during this process, I've created many reusable objects which can be used across different projects. And then I worked on the CyberArk and creating the artifacts for deployments using the Bamboo pipelines. And I worked on creating two new processes. One is the PowerShell checker process, where my bot will hit the database and get all the process and the resource status, which is very important for the project, because if there is any issue with the bot and if the business finds out first before the production support team, then there will be an issue, there will be an escalation. So I've created a process called PowerShell checker process, and this part will hit the database and get both the resource status and process status. So we'll be getting emails using SMTP, and once we get the email, we'll check the status of this process and resource. And if anything wrong, like if the bot is offline or if the process is not started, we'll have someone manually check in the control room and see what's the issue before the business takes up. And so we can avoid any escalations from the business end. And then I created one metrics process that is shared with the main management teams. So this metric process will get all the historical data. So what we ran from January to December, so it's all across the year, or you can filter by any month, whatever you need. So I created a process to get the transaction count, number of exceptions, number of hours the bot spent on running the process, and the premium amount that we registered on Genius, which is the mainframe application, for the whole year or for some time period. So this process created to get all the data, and we are showing it as the bar diagrams on Excel. And then we are reporting using ClickView. So these two processes, and then I've faced many blockers and many issues since I started working with Liberty Mutual. There was a blocker where there is a new action in Blue Prism which is not aware for any of the developers in the team. So I worked on using a different mode, which is a mainframe mode for that action. And then I created a object which helps in integrating with the DLLs and complete that action without changing any pages in the object. So this helped a lot in creating the new process for Asia Pac. And there was some issues with the Genius IDs too. So when we are running the process in production, there were some issues with Genius IDs, and these IDs get deactivated. So I worked with the teams to not to change the password and just reactivate the IDs and keeping them in a CyberArk safe on CyberArk. So this helped to use these IDs and run the policies in the production. I would have not done in a different way because recreating new IDs will take a long time, and we have to update the Blue Prism credential managers, which will take some time. So this will delay in the delivery of the code. So I've followed this way to reactivate the IDs instead of changing all the passwords. And then for the object also, I've used the object, and it can be reusable for any process. So instead of creating the whole new process, I used a different object calling this action. So this is what I achieved during my work period at Liberty Mutual. And yeah, I think that's it. So I've learned many things, and I did what I can. I've resolved many blockers, many issues, and currently I'm working on 3 new different projects. I'm creating new objects and calling these objects through process using the business logic, and I'm working on the production support too. So yeah, this is the reflection that I got during this CPG time period, and thanks all for this opportunity. Thank you.